I guess just getting old is, I think you got to be pretty damn tough to get old, to be honest with you, because I didn't think I'd be going, but the whole left side of my body's all false now. False knee, false shoulder, false hip, so what else can be false?
Well, AJ, it's great to have you back at the track. If you can't, talk about the season the team's having today.
I'm sorry?
It's great to have you back. If you can't, talk about the season to date and how your team's been doing.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
How's the team doing this season? The team's performance this season?
Oh, the performance?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's done a great job for us. Larry's done a great job running the team. I'm always in the background, but I've been letting him do all the work and call most of the shots. I still have to call the payroll shots, but that's what I'm good for. But all in all, I think he's put a good group of guys together, and we started off with a big bang, and then we had some problems in the middle of the year, and we hope to turn around with the Houston race coming up, my hometown, and here. So we're looking forward to having the last couple of races. Jimmy Johnson? Yeah. Casey Kane? Yeah. Said, do you realize them are all open wheel boys that's been winning your race over? It hadn't been just stock car boys. So I thought that was pretty good. I didn't hear it. A person told me that heard it, and I thought that was pretty good. Yes, ma'am.
AJ, you've raced so many different types of racing. Is there any kind that you wanted to do but didn't? And if so, why?
No, ma'am. I was offered a Formula One ride, but I didn't like the way you had to wear a tie for breakfast and things like that, and I didn't care about their food over there. So, and that's when Copenhagen was sponsoring me, and they said, if you want to go over there, fine. But I never cared for Formula One. I've watched a lot of it. I think it's good racing, don't get me wrong, but it's just, my favorite racing, to be honest with you, is what Tony Stewart got hurt in the other day, was a half mile on a dirt sprint car track with a lot of power. To me, that's the most fun racing a driver can have in his whole career. And a lot of these boys that never drove a sprint car don't know what fun is.
Next question. You built your own cars, you worked on your own cars. How much of an advantage did that give you over a racer that just drove the cars?
Well, I would have to say today the cars are a lot safer than they were then. The manufactured tires have come a long way, the fuel cell. But I don't know, you got a bunch of great engineers here, but I still like if you want to build your own car, like Gurney had the Eagles and I had the Coyotes, and you could build your own motors. It's just like when Big Noddy was my chief mechanic, you had the Offenhausers, and as we raced and practiced all week and qualified, then before Corporation Day, you rebuilt it in your garage, and you didn't have all the fancy dynos and all that, so you went out Corporation Day and run it in, and then you raced 500 miles. I would say you got some great mechanics here, but if you go back to the old days where you had to build a lot of your stuff like the mechanics did, I don't think
AJ, how much longer do you want to do this? I know Larry does most of the day-to-day, but how long do you want to be at the racetrack?
I guess until they lower that box and I'm looking up the grass, not down at it. As long as I can look down at it, I'll probably be around. But no, I've really enjoyed it. I've turned it over to the younger boys because they see a little eye-to-eye different, and a bunch of them are spoiled like hell, including my kids. They don't know how it is to drive down the highway 24 hours a day and tow your own race car. If you don't just set them to a racetrack and have a nice motel.
Am I turned over about it? No, but I'd like the ball to keep rolling. As a team, we seem to do best when we're week in and week out. But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily the best thing in the world to disappear for 5 weeks. But is it the end of the world? No. If it makes a better time to come here to Southern California to race, and if the dates line up with Houston, then yeah, I don't know. It's not my area to really critique that, but I'd rather be racing all the time. So of course you're going to get that answer from me.
Yes.
For Marco, I know you'd like to win an Indy 500 any year you could win one, but you're coming up on actually your grandfather's 1969 win. I believe he was 29 years old, and I think you're coming up on that age here pretty soon. What would you think about winning?
Hopefully that's my 4th win by then. Yeah, we've been doing our job there. You know, we've been executing properly. I think Ryan and I did a perfect, almost near perfect job, and we still got beat there. You know what I mean? And the way I best describe it is that if it's going to be a shootout every year, as long as we're in it, you know, hopefully we can steal a couple of them.
What are you, 28 now?
Huh? 26.
We're adding years too. Other questions for Marco and Ryan? Okay.
Actually, I do, if you don't mind. Back to Indianapolis against Hornish. It's driving me nuts.
Me too.
And to this day, that race still makes me sick to my stomach, how he lost it. What was it, do you think, in the end, that caused you to lose the race? Because Penske seemed to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the gap at the last lap, it's like, you know, it's unbelievable, the ground that they made up.
Yeah.
I can't really comment on it, really, you know. I'm not that type of person.
Okay.
For either one of you, how important are tires in the races nowadays? It seems like tire strategy has so much to do with who wins and who loses.
Yeah, tire management is a big deal. You know, Firestone has been engineering the tires to have more fall off, which creates better racing. You get cars pitting sometimes for fuel, sometimes for tires because they've used them up. So I think it makes it a lot busier in the car, tougher job in the car. But it's made for some great races, and we're always trying to finally tweak that. You know, we're trying to get it just right. Sometimes they step over it a little bit, and the tires are a little bit too hard. They fall off a little bit too much, whatever the case may be. But 9 times out of 10, Firestone nails it, and it's all for the show. It's all for racing. You know, it's all to make the best
I've
racing.
heard some rumblings about a doubleheader at Long Beach, and also possibly a night race at Long Beach. What would you think about that?
It's cooler at night.
It's cooler at night. And if we can do more races in Southern California, that'd be great. I mean, I love it here, and hopefully the championship comes down to it here in a couple weeks. But I don't know. I like the idea of the night race better. I think that's more appealing. To me, I don't know. I think the doubleheaders. If you get, you know, I'm a big football fan. If you give me the option of going to the same football team's game on Saturday and the same football team's game on Sunday, I'm going to pick one or the other. But that's just me. So, not sure how that works out for the fans. We'll see soon enough.
Really, that's what what he last said. It's up to the fans. I mean, for the drivers, you know, it's extremely physical. Obviously, it's the same for everybody. But you know, we wake up Sunday morning feeling like we normally do on the Monday mornings, and we have to go do it again. You know, it feels like we just finished a race right before the next one starts and stuff like that. You know, I don't know. Honestly, that one's up to the fans, and if we have to train harder, that's what we do.
So you wouldn't mind the night race, then?
Be different.
It's hard to do at a street circuit, but
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't mind it at all. There's a lot of money that needs to be pumped into to make that happen, to run those lights every night,
Kim and
Friday,
Kevin will
Saturday,
do
Sunday.
I just came back from Brazil yesterday, actually, so trying to make things happen there so I can come back with a stronger sponsorship package and I can choose where I'm going to go. So right now, not really. I actually decided I was kind of anxious in the past few weeks to get it done. Now actually I'm going to take my time and see what's out there. You know, there's plenty of things happening, not just on the Indycar side. My heart is actually to stay here, but right now I'm a free agent, so I'm looking at pretty much everywhere.
Tony, you've raced at Houston before. Are you looking forward to going back there? Obviously, there will be no fisticuffs because PT and Barry won't be there, but are you looking forward to anything else?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it is not the same racetrack we raced back in those days. I have a pretty, you know, it's a funny story because actually I signed my contract with Michael that weekend. So, and then I ended up taking him out of the race. So, thank God we had shook hands and signed a contract before the race. But yeah, I mean, looking forward to it. I think it's a new market for us as far as coming back there. So I know the guys are, you know, putting a lot of effort to build the track right now. We hear the challenges that they got with the games that they have in town, yes, I'm looking forward to it. It's a double header, so a lot of points in place. It will be I think the championship will be decided there. It won't be decided here. But I hope we can bring it down to here. But it's going to be
Hear your boss, and I was wondering if maybe you could share a story about him where maybe you two didn't get along so well, and.
Well, first of all, really pleased that he'd be back at the track, and it's nice to see show a great commitment. Come here for the week before the Houston race that he was going to attend that event. But it was nice to see a week earlier, and then flew in. Last night. But I think he certainly looks in pretty good shape. I'm sure it's a long process for the healing, but you can't really see he's done 2 surgeries this season, and it's a tough for him, but as well as tough for the team that we're missing a big boss. But in another way, you could see that the team is fully operated, under Larry's call, and he's done a tremendous job, I think. And now I had to be doing a very competitive, good race in front of AJ. Otherwise, I'll be in big trouble. But no, hopefully we, as I said, we will be back in some speed, and then it's nice to see the big smile on AJ's face.
I feel that it's going to be great for us, for Team Penske I'm talking about. But beside that, I believe it's going to be also great for the series, and having him back. So it's going to be great. At this point, I want to continue challenge for the championship, and hopefully next year we have an even more force to do that as well.
Hi. What do you think about the DW12 car, and are you looking forward to the new aero packages coming up in probably, 2 years' time?
Yeah, it's still a little bit ahead of us at this point. Right now, the car has been great. Thank God, all the committee a few years ago were able to put a good package, and racing in terms of Indycar series has been amazing. I mean, this year's particularly, it's been quite of amazing. A lot of new young drivers winning for the first time. As you can see, the competitiveness, the level of the series is just very competitive. Drivers and teams. So it shows that we have a lot of limits on the car. So what you can change and what you can do, and that made a lot of the small teams catch up with the big teams like Penske, Ganassi, and Andretti. So in the end, as I'm saying, I mean, the difference in the championship is very close, because everybody has one win or very good results. And I see no change for the new next year, but when they introduce the new package, probably you're going to see a difference. I don't know the rules yet. I think nobody knows the rules yet for next year, so we just got to wait and see.
Other questions for Elliot?
Be able to go in and watch it out one of the shows, because like I said, I love it's my favorite show on TV now.